We're trying to overthrow the biggest wrestling company in the ruthless time of the 1920s. While our company is growing and we continue to set our own personal records, is our wrestling company doomed no matter what we do? Stay tuned and find out. What's up, guys? We are back with more TEW, diving straight into the Wham. And today we've got a big episode, but we've got to acknowledge this breakthrough canon instance where Don Loomis and Sorely Monaghan have rectified their relationship. They saw the death of Frank Norris, and that caused them to put their differences aside and let bygones be bygones. So Sorely Monaghan and Don Loomis have rectified their relationship, and that is something beautiful and wholesome given the passing of Frank Norris, our original user character and rival to Don Loomis. Sorely Monaghan was also a rival to Don Loomis, but then his wrestling company failed, it closed its doors, and now all of a sudden he's good with Don Loomis again. And we are in a bit of a bind with Victor Garza here. He is angry. We are at risk of losing our third road agent so far. For some reason, road agents just seem to be extremely sensitive and have a bit of a hair trigger of a morale system, I guess. But either way, we got to monitor this situation, and we hope Victor Garza does not walk out. If he does, we do still have Friedrich Herzog, who's not a road agent technically, but he does have the skills to act as our road agent, and he's honestly our best road agent. But he's also featured talent in the program, so we don't want him to just be on the sidelines backstage exclusively. Now, we did give Victor Garza a $50 bonus, and we fed him a character idea as well, still kept him angry, and so far that has been a tell that we are in danger of losing our road agent based on our recent experiences. We do have this waiting in our wings. Kuni Hashiguchi is a 27 female Japanese wrestler. She is, if I'm not mistaken, the first female wrestler in this entire database. And I believe that she is a part of the database. She's not just a generated worker. But while we don't have a women's division for her to compete in, she does have decent psychology and experience, given her background, that we might be able to bring her on as a road agent. And you know what? She's even in the United States already. I'm going to shortlist her for now because I don't want to bring her into a negative locker room and bring her down and make her angry and potentially lose her as well. So we'll leave her on the sides for now. Friedrich Herzog has sustained a bruised kidney. Shouldn't miss any time from it, but working over at POG, his own company, has brought this little bit of an obstacle, so hopefully we don't do anything to make it worse or agitate his injury. We're also going to be bringing Friedrich Herzog into our booking team, now making it a 4-man team. Friedrich Herzog only has a booking skill of 43, but at this point, we need as many character ideas as we can get, so we're just gonna load up on creative energy if possible. And we're ready to jump right into the Amazing Grappling Spectacle 33. We did get 173 creative energy from this 4-man team. We're not giving anybody the night off. Picked up a few more character ideas, and now it's time for the backstage incidents. Kyson Mays causing heat backstage with a mean-spirited rib that he pulled on Friedrich Herzog. Bro, you cannot be messing with Friedrich Herzog. I don't appreciate that. We're gonna fine you. Friedrich Herzog is pleased, and honestly, that's what we were hoping to get out of this exchange, to keep that man happy. Yavraj Tunnel failed to show up for a scheduled meeting with the road agent. We're gonna give him a stern warning. And only a few locker room incidents for this evening. We're gonna inspire the locker room, hoping to enhance our ratings for this evening. But with that being said, it's time to jump into the event, the Amazing Grappling Spectacle 33, and we open up the show with a pre-show match. Now, I need to correct myself. I've been saying dark matches. Now, by definition, dark matches are matches at a televised event that do not get televised. Now, we do not have any televised events, but I'm going to keep calling them dark matches for our pre-show matches. That's probably just a habit of mine. I'm acknowledging that it's technically not correct, but I'm probably going to keep saying it kind of subconsciously. But anyway, ready to get into the show. We got Kyson Mays getting some action against Yavraj Tunnel. Kyson Mays is beginning to carve out a small little spot for himself here in the Wham. He's beginning to build up a little bit of popularity, so he picks up another victory over the T-Man. Here we get a segment rating of 16, Kyson Mays with an in-ring performance of 21, Tunnel with an in-ring performance of 26. Our first match of the night has got Randy Edson and August Washburn going one-on-one, mano-a-mano in some heavyweight action. Randy Edson picks up a victory here in this one. Not terrible job here, Edson with an in-ring performance of 22, Washburn with an in-ring performance of 21, and we move on. Next match is a junior heavyweight division match as Joel Cartwright locks up with RT Lincoln. RT Lincoln takes another loss. He has not won a singles match yet since his time here on the Wham, but Joel Cartwright has won a few matches already since coming to the Wham. He turns in an in-ring performance of 40. We get a segment rating of 30 overall, and Joel Cartwright is certainly getting himself noticed here in the junior heavyweight division. In the next segment, Wayne Blankenship made his way to the ring looking for a microphone as he is seeking to vent his frustrations after coming up short in his title match last month. Blankenship would go on to claim that he is the uncrowned champion, blaming Kyson Mays for getting in the way. Blankenship would then place a challenge to Kyson Mays next month so he can prove that he deserves to be the #1 contender. In the next match, Albie Dewberry continues to just outdo himself each time we see him. We know Benson Sandy is a very capable guy to be in the ring with, and we see Albie Dewberry put up an in-ring performance of 50. That is a fantastic rating from one of our homegrown talents here, and Albie Dewberry really is coming into his own. Benson Sandy, in-ring performance of 35, not a bad job either. We had a wrestling rating of 42, but our penalties bring us down to a total segment rating of 31. So Albie Dewberry, as the junior heavyweight champion, picking up a victory in cross-division action, cementing his dominance as champion. And then in our main event, we get a hesitant and reluctant Bronson Fraley versus Black Bull match. Not a bad showing between these two. We get a segment rating of 31, and Bronson Fraley ultimately defeating an old friend in Black Bull. Fraley got an in-ring performance of 36, and Black Bull had an in-ring performance of 29. So not some bad work here in our main event from our heavyweights, and Black Bull takes another loss, and he is fallen. But the show will end with this segment as Levi Andrews is seen condescendingly applauding Bronson Fraley after the match at the curtain before the show comes to an end. Overall, we had a pretty strong show comparatively, overall rating of 35 here, and our matches were actually pretty consistent. Of course, Randy Edson, August Washburn, that was lacking, but otherwise we were able to stay 30 and above, and you like to see that for the Wham. And we're going to praise Friedrich Herzog and Albie Dewberry for a job well done. We lose $159 from this show. We got to stay under, I think it's $600 is our magic number for workers. We can't be paying more than $600 if we want to be profiting. And you can see our finances are not in the best spot here. There are a couple moves that I want to make. I want to bring in this guy, JP Cromwell. Big dude, 6'9", 381. Raw Erickson, but better. He's actually got some in-ring ability. He's got great consistency, solid basics, and he's a safe worker. Safe enough anyway. So we're going to bring this big boy on, $20, and he's got an overall positive personality, and we're not paying for travel, so that is a plus. And we're also going to roll with Kuni Hashiguchi. We're going to bring her in. I know I said I was going to leave it, but given how close we are to profiting and how volatile Victor Garza's mood seems to be, if I can just lock down a local road agent, you can bet your ass I'm going to do it. She is in the tri-state, so we are paying a little bit of travel, but that is nowhere near international travel level. We do hear back from both of them. They both accepted the contract, and that is a good thing. That is a very good thing for us, and that opens up a lot of options as well. And our roster does take another hit, although this one is rather minuscule in comparison to some of them that we've taken. Steven Vecchio has been hired by SPW, and our guy Steven Vecchio, he hasn't been used for a while, and honestly I was going to turn him into a manager for John Wolf because they had good chemistry. He's a guy that never got a great chance in our division. He was kind of filler for the junior heavyweight division, and we haven't really used him in quite a while. In fact, his last match that was not on a pre-show for us was back in July of 1926. So we're not going to be missing him too much, but I am going to readjust his contract for 1 month, and then his contract will just end rather than us releasing him. So just in case we do need a positive personality and he's not employed with SPW, we can bring him back on. So that's going to be the last of the roster management before our next show, the Amazing Grappling Spectacle 34. And in this one, we're going to have a little bit of an experiment. Hashiguchi and Friedrich Herzog on our roster. We're going to give Victor Garza the night off. Keep him out of our locker room. Not only is he a scumbag, but he is traveling quite a long distance to be a scumbag. So we're going to leave him out of the locker room, out of the mix for this evening. But everyone else can stay. They're all good with me. And we got a few character ideas from our booking team meeting, and we're going to check out the locker room incidents. More Wrestlers Court, and Black Bull was very late. We're going to find him. Nothing noteworthy came from it. Friedrich Herzog got into a heated argument with a fan. That is not like the big guy. We're going to give him a stern warning. And that's it for the night. You got to take those uneventful nights in the locker room. I'm okay with that. And we're going to try a positive medal between Neil Allman and Albie Dewberry and see what comes about there. And we're not wasting any time with this one. We're getting straight into the in-ring competition. No pre-show matches for tonight. We open up our show with a Derby qualifying match, as Levi Andrews has scheduled Black Bull and Neil Allman to go one-on-one. These two have definitely faced off against one another before, and this might be the best match that these two have had together yet, thanks to a competent referee and a better road agent, although we're still getting penalized for our road agent. But regardless, Neil Allman comes away with a victory here after 9.5 minutes. You can see that the bout isn't even dragging in the middle, so we are starting to deliver some decent performances here, and you gotta love to see it. We get a segment rating of 27 to start off the night. But in the next segment, Neil Allman just gets a moment. He notions to the crowd that belt around his waist. He wants the championship, and he's making it very clear what his intentions are. And he's got great performance skills, so we let him improvise this one a little bit, and clearly it worked out well in his favor, although our road agent still gets hit for it, but a segment rating of 51. And then we get a quick match, segment rating of 30, and Friedrich Herzog dominates Charlie Thompson in another Derby qualifying match. So we will see Friedrich Herzog and Neil Allman both take part in the heavyweight tournament, and of course Bronson Fraley, as the championship will be on the line all the way up from the champion's first match to the very end, whether Bronson Fraley makes it to the end or not. But in this match, Friedrich Herzog in-ring performance of 44, Charlie Thompson with a 26. Not terrible from Charlie Thompson, but Friedrich Herzog nicely done here. We get a segment rating of 30. Although this is not what you like to see. Kyson Mays didn't do the greatest job here. Levi Andrews brings Kyson Mays down ringside for an interview. Kyson Mays was asked about Wayne Blankenship's claims last month about being in the way and interfering in his title aspirations, to which Kyson Mays would confidently reply that Wayne Blankenship is not champion because he is no longer championship material. Levi Andrews would then press Mays, asking if he stands a chance at winning the title, to which Kyson Mays would intensely state that he will take on anybody to prove that he has what it takes to be champion. Levi Andrews was very pleased at this response, as he revealed that we will in fact see Kyson Mays and Wayne Blankenship one-on-one tonight. Segment rating is 16. It really brought us down. Very unfortunate, but the crowd is still at white hot. Moving into the next match, we've got some junior heavyweight tag team action. Albie Dewberry and Joe Cartwright, two very promising junior heavyweights, taking on RT Lincoln and Yavraj Tunnell. Albie Dewberry picks up the victory here as we see the champion shine. And we did set this match up to see if these guys could go out and steal the show. They get a segment rating of 37, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that is our best match rating that we have received so far. Joe Cartwright, in-ring performance of 44, Albie Dewberry with an in-ring performance of 45. Great job on that side, although Yavraj Tunnell 25 and RT Lincoln down at an 18. And Joe Cartwright has been doing nothing but impressing since he's gotten here into the WHAM, and big things are in store for him. And of course, we see Albie Dewberry just being a beast like he has been for quite some time now. Now in the next match, we do see that Kyson Mays Wayne Blankenship match, and Kyson Mays would actually defeat Wayne Blankenship in 8:15 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. Wayne Blankenship would be playing to the crowd a little bit, but Kyson Mays, I don't even want to say playing possum, but he would hop up, he would roll Wayne Blankenship up from behind, get a quick victory, and Wayne Blankenship was beside himself. We get a segment rating of 23, Wayne Blankenship with an in-ring performance of 26. You'd hope to see a little bit better from our boy Wayne Blankenship, but overall, Kyson Mays does himself a big service and gets a big victory here. Now it's time for the main event, as we've got Levi Andrews going one-on-one with Bronson Fraley. Now Levi Andrews, when he announced this match, he was making himself out to be a fearless hero, taking on a beast that is Bronson Fraley, and many people weren't sure what he was getting into because Bronson Fraley is the heavyweight champion, the undisputed heavyweight champion. He has been on quite a roll for nearly 3 years now. Levi Andrews had a plan. He was able to stick around just enough, but we did see the debut of JP Cromwell as he ran in and attacked Bronson Fraley, and of course we had Blue Mage here at ringside, kind of distracting the ref, and Levi Andrews using his weight as the owner to distract the ref as well. But we get a segment rating of 25 overall. Not terrible, but clearly wasn't our best match of the night. Then to end the night, we see Levi Andrews basking in his handiwork thanks to his henchmen. Levi Andrews just defeated the heavyweight champion of the WHAM. And we see the night end with a segment rating of 47 as Blue Mage and JP Cromwell assist Levi Andrews. So Levi Andrews, Blue Mage was not enough. Clearly, Blue Mage was taking some L's, some losses. So we see an overall show rating of 32. Wasn't as good as our last 35, but we did get a great match from our junior heavyweights with that 37. And I think as such, it only makes sense to praise both Joe Cartwright and Albie Dewberry here. We do see some profit $66. Now that's not going to be enough, I fear, to keep us open, because we are not going to make up this 16 grand in debt fast enough. So we're going to have a conversation here later in this episode, and we're going to figure some stuff out. And given how our last couple shows have gone, and given how our road agent situation is looking with Friedrich Herzog and Kuni Hashiguchi, I am going to renegotiate Victor Garza and try to get him out of here. So we're just going to do one appearance or 1 month, whatever happens first. We'll probably just let the time expire. We're going to make this official and we'll see what he thinks about it. And I also know that Friedrich Herzog's contract is going to expire in just over a month, so I'd like to renegotiate with this big guy. I'm going to add him on for another year at least. I'm going to keep offering to cover his travel costs, and $20 a show is just such a bargain, you can't beat it. And our last little bit of contract work, I'm going to check something out here. We're paying Bronson Fraley $30 a show right now. I'm going to offer him an exclusive handshake deal and see if we can even send this. First of all, we're going to set it up for 2 years at $30 a show, and we're going to see what comes about. We can send it out. So Bronson Fraley may just be the first man who gets an exclusive contract. We can't make a written contract, but we can do an exclusive handshake contract. Now, is that as impenetrable as an exclusive written contract? I don't know. I've never actually done an exclusive handshake on this game. So we're going to find out, you and I together. But if that works, then we may have to send a few more exclusive handshake contracts out to make sure we don't lose true core pieces of our roster. And Bronson Fraley did in fact accept the exclusive handshake contract extension. So hopefully this means Bronson Fraley is our guy and only our guy. Now I did go through the available workers near the area, and we found a couple guys that actually might be great additions to the roster, and some of them might surprise you. Dean Florian starting off, 5'8", 207. This guy might be a solid addition into the junior heavyweight division. He's got decent brawling ability, really good stamina, really good athleticism, really good toughness, pretty okay basic selling consistency, everything down the way, comparatively speaking anyway. He's got okay performance ability. So I don't think this would be the worst decision, especially considering our junior heavyweight division is sitting at about maybe 8 guys or so now, with Steven Vecchio on his way out. So we're going to send him a 1-year contract offer. Another name that I'm looking at is our boy, Saita Kuroki. He is no longer with SPW. Once again, he walks out on SPW. So clearly, he wasn't happy there. We see a personal relationship change. I'm guessing that something went down between he and Don Loomis. And that's right. It's a worse and is now strong dislike. So Saita Kuroki is in kind of the same boat as Frank Norris here. But what this means is we're going to bring back the force that we never actually were able to use, and we're going to offer him another 1-year contract just like we have. And Mr. Saita Kuroki does in fact accept the deal. What a great feeling, and we are starting to stock up on some stars here. And Dean Florian also accepts his offer, so now we've got a few new additions to the roster. And we have now reached January 1st, 1928. And of course, that means that we have to check out the annual awards first of the entire wrestling industry, and next we'll check out those for the WAM. To start off, Male Wrestler of the Year, to no one's surprise, Daniel Loisel. 7th year in a row, this man is the GOAT. This is Luthez. This is Bruno Sammartino. This is Pedro Morales before all those guys. And of course, they're not going to exist in this universe. But look at that, 44 popularity in the Southeast. This man is shooting up, skyrocketing. Fantastic skills. And he has been the #1 male wrestler in the world for the 7th year in a row. No tag team of the year. They gotta be an official tag team, and they need 5 matches together, and apparently no one in the world can throw that together and make that happen. Male Young Wrestler of the Year, Tulio Navarro. He's from Viva La Lucha. He's a good worker. He's a great high flyer. 77 aerial ability, 69 technical, 71 flashiness. That would be a great addition to our junior heavyweight division, that's for sure. Male Veteran of the Year, Alexander Keith wins that thing for the 2nd year after being at SPW for a full year. Male Independent Wrestler of the Year, Daniel Loisel once again. Company of the Year, SPW. Most Improved Company of the Year will go to Kinky Wrestling over in Japan, ran by Haruki Atsuko. In Match of the Year, Turner Spittler and Daniel Loisel. They did the same, and the same two gentlemen win Match of the Year in 1927 as they did in 1926, almost with an identical rating. So clearly SPW is on top of the wrestling world. Match Card of the Year, staying with SPW, 59 rating. Male Manager of the Year is Sorley Monaghan. We've got a play-by-play commentator of the year whose name I cannot pronounce. Tajo Covarrubias. I'm guessing he's with Viva La Lucha. He's got amazing performance abilities. Look at that. My goodness. Male color commentator of the year is Jairo Haran, or Heron, over at POG. Referee of the year is Kenny Lyles. And that'll do it for the world of wrestling. Now going over to the awards for the Wham. Albie Dewberry is our male wrestler of the year. And I think that's pretty justified because that man has been working. We've got Black Bull at Male Young Wrestler of the Year, which is interesting because he had an awful 1927. Match of the Year is Albie Dewberry and Joe Cartwright defeating RT Lincoln and Yavraj Tunnel with a rating of 37. Match Card of the Year is The Amazing Grappling Spectacle 33 with our rating of 35. And of course, Kamari Bryant winning Referee of the Year for us as he is our only referee. But since we are doing admin things, we might as well talk about it now. $15,565 we are in debt. Now that is quite the number for 1928, especially for a company that is still tiny. We're at 19 popularity here in the Mid-South, and I also actually realized that our product means that the company will find it difficult to attract sponsors. So I didn't know what to expect at this point in this era for sponsorships. We're getting about $30 a month or so. And even if we can turn a profit each show of, say, $300, and that would be quite the stretch right now, it would take well over 5 years to clear that debt. Now, obviously, hopefully 5 years from now, we'd be making more than $300 a show, but I digress. This debt is kind of insurmountable in the figure of the actual game. So, you audience, you guys are my inspiration for this series. You are the lifeline of this series. Please leave a comment down below what you think we should do. Should we, as far as this series continuation, should we provide some Deus Ex Machina and grant ourselves some money, keeping us afloat for however long needed? Because we did start this save with $1,000. Not $10,000, but $1,000. So we've been in debt for quite a while now. And we are going to reach that point where they're going to tell us that we are in financial danger. So do we provide ourselves with some money? Do we create some terms of a loan that we have to pay back later on? Or do we just let the Wham die? Maybe we revive the Wham with Frank Norris III after the Great Depression, possibly. Maybe even Frank Norris IV. But there are some options on the table. I mostly want to hear what you guys think. So please, please, please leave a comment down below. If you've never commented before, please make this your first comment in the series. Should we continue the Wham? Should we just hope we don't run out of debt? Should we provide us some monetary lifeline? But like I said, you, the viewer, are the lifeline of this series. So please leave some feedback down below so we can figure out what to do should this situation arise. But we're at least going to get through one more show in this episode, so make sure you stick around. And it is worth noting that we wrapped up Albie Dewberry on an exclusive handshake deal as well, hopefully locking down the gem of our junior heavyweight division, who I thought was Wayne Blankenship in all honesty, but it has certainly become Albie Dewberry at this point. And we have seen a new wrestling company come into this wrestling universe. The second day of 1928, Kenny Lyles founded Chicago Style Wrestling, and they added quite a few local names that you might recognize. Corey Edmonds, Gary Cowell, Pickleman, Super Demon. They also made quite a few contract offers to a few of my guys as well. We'll see if they end up accepting them or not. So we're going to see what comes from this company. It'll be very interesting. Kenny Lyles, the OG referee. Now that there are a few more referees in the game, he seems to be taking a different role. Although he is still reffing for 3 different companies, so good for him. He ain't ref of the year for no reason, right? Now, it is time to get ready for the Amazing Grappling Spectacle 35. And we're going to allow Yavraj Tunnel to take the night off, get that sleazy personality out of the locker room, although we do appreciate the T-Man here. But the rest you don't have to worry about because we've got a few surprises in store as it is the first night of the Derby 3, although we are going to give an inspiring speech to the locker room. And we've got another big episode that we are just going to dive right into. No pre-show matches again. Our show opener, we've got some junior heavyweight action, our only match featuring junior heavyweights, as the rest of the matches are for the Derby, which is an heavyweight exclusive tournament. Joel Cartwright defeated Kyson Mays in 6:54. Now in this match, Wayne Blankenship, salty from his loss last month, would come out to the ringside and distract Kyson Mays. Joel Cartwright in-ring performance of 39, Kyson Mays 24. Clearly, Joel Cartwright is the better worker here out of the two. He deserves the victory in my opinion. We get a segment rating of 30, and the show got off to a strong start, and you could see here in the red, Saita Kuroki is acting as road agent here in that one. So I'm happy to say that we've got three capable, loosely using those words because we're still going to get penalized every time, but three road agents between Herzog, Hashiguchi, and Saita Kuroki. But this match did have a segment following it. After costing Kyson Mays his match, Wayne Blankenship quickly makes his way into the ring and begins to strike Kyson Mays, who would not take the beating lying down, and would fight back until Joel Cartwright and other wrestlers from the back came to break up the brawl. Unfortunately, the rivalry between these two that actually loses heat with this segment, only getting 18 in that rating. That is a little disappointing. Some poor performances there, but amplifying the physicality in this rivalry. In our next match, this is the first match of the Derby 3. We've got Saita Kuroki going up against Sebastian Morales. Now, you need to know something about Sebastian Morales. He is one of the most talented and popular workers in all of Viva la Lucha. So we brought him over to compete in the Derby tournament, and he gets off to a very strong start as he picks up a big victory over Saita Kuroki. And Sebastian Morales turned in an in-ring performance of 41, whereas Kuroki turned in an in-ring performance of 26, and this segment gets a total rating of 26. But a big way to start off a big tournament this year. Our next segment, Levi Andrews, his goons, and Albie Dewberry. Levi Andrews is in the ring, ready to make an important announcement. Following his dramatic and heroic victory over the meathead Bronson Fraley, Levi Andrews has declared that he only deems it just and fit to award himself a shot at Albie Dewberry's Junior Heavyweight Championship. Albie Dewberry would make his way to the ring, though quickly confronted by Levi Andrews' enforcers. Albie Dewberry, without a microphone, made his feelings known as he held up his championship belt and backed his way behind the curtain, playing to the crowd and standing up to the boss. And Albie Dewberry showing that he is not afraid of anybody, not even the owner of the company, Levi Andrews. Segment rating at 39 here, not too bad. We got the crowd at a white hot level. In the next match, we see Friedrich Herzog put up a freakish 55, and if you play this game at all, 55 is a rather uninspiring rating. However, where we're at in 1928, that is gold, and you love to see it. We also get the debut of Craig Bean. He's not too bad, but he's no Friedrich Herzog. Friedrich Herzog is the strongest man in the world's strongest man, but 70 years ahead of its time. And we get a nice match rating of 42. That is the best match of the WAM so far, so nice job Craig Bean, even though he was off his game, but largely in part to Friedrich Herzog, and we also have the crowd at a decent point as well. So, big numbers so far in this show. And in the next segment, we get Neil Allman before his match, as he goes to ringside to retrieve a microphone. Once equipped, he expresses gratitude to those that attend the events and makes a promise to the crowd that this year Neil Allman is going to win the Derby. So just playing to the crowd a little bit, some babyface. He has excellent performance ratings, so we wanted to put the mic in his hands a little bit here. That's what we did, and we get a segment rating of 32. Now going into the match, Neil Allman against another new signing, another new face, another one from Mexico, Diego Barragan. Neil Allman picks up a victory here. He has a nice in-ring performance of 35, whereas Diego Barragan had an in-ring performance of 23. Now, Barragan is another formidable worker from Mexico. However, he actually walked out on Viva la Lucha, so he was a free agent when we picked him up. And if anything, I would love to see, if we are his primary and only employer, if he might just, maybe move over to the United States or something. But I digress. We get a segment rating of 29 here, and Neil Allman moves on in the Derby. And now our main event of the evening, ironically, is the worst match of the night, as we get Bronson Fraley defending the WHAM Heavyweight Championship, as is the nature of the Derby. If the champion is competing, the championship is on the line. So the winner of the Derby will always be the heavyweight champion. But we see Bronson Fraley going up against Roger Stagg. He's a guy that we've had our eyes on for quite a while. We see Bronson Fraley in-ring performance of 37, Roger Stagg in-ring performance of 23. Not some terrible numbers here, but Bronson Fraley does move on. And can Bronson Fraley win the Derby for the third year in a row and continue his heavyweight championship reign? We're gonna have to find out. But we get an overall rating of 31 in this show. I really feel like if we had a better segment with Kyson Mays and Wayne Blankenship and a better main event, mostly the main event. You know, that 18 definitely brought us down, but that main event is weighted in a much heavier sense. But we see some pretty good numbers here, and like I said, overall rating of 31. And Friedrich Herzog, of course, deserves praise for a great performance, and Saita Kuroki, his first night working with the WHAM, he took an L, so we're going to compliment him on a good performance to try to keep that morale trending upward. Now, we shelled out quite a bit of money on our employees tonight because we had to pay for the travel of 2 guys coming from Mexico, but we still only have an overall loss of 185, so not too bad. But like I have already mentioned, please weigh in on the comments down below about our financial situation. What do you want to see us do with this series? Because at this point, this debt may be too much to come back from, and our company may end up filing for bankruptcy if we don't have some kind of external means to take care of it. But our popularity goes up to 20 in the Mid-South, and that is a good thing. Make sure you run up the likes on this video so we can get the next episode out and get the conclusion of the Derby, as well as the biggest event of the year in the spectacle of amazing grapples. Thank you to those who are subscribed to the Real One tier on Patreon. You guys are awesome, and your support is greatly appreciated. As for everyone else, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.